Wednesday afternoon sessions are one wonderful way of encouraging each other. The aspect of fellowshipping together. We must pray for each other. I'll not go into the details. Pray for your leaders. Pray for each other. Paul pours himself out in the books, in the epistles, time and time again, sharing with the people that he discipled, how he prays for them, how he thinks about them. And I ask myself again, if I am truly not letting people come to Christ, do I set time to pray for them, to empathize with them, to have compassion? I don't think I do as much. This word was a challenge to me. When all is said and done, let's not forget the impact of our letting the children come. Simple things. Love, forgive, encourage, pray for. The journey we are taking is a journey into ourselves, but it's also a journey towards others. We have a big mandate as Christians, more so as staff of World Vision. In the Newsweek article, in August 12th, 19th article, we have Newsweek magazine. It tells a story, a sad story, I must say. And this story is captured through a lady called Mary. The magazine had the title, When Liberian Child Soldiers Grow Up. The subtitle was, what will the generation of girls who fought in Liberia's brutal wars tell their children? These are the harsh realities of our work. Liberia went through a very brutal war. There are many stories and evidence of children having been involved in those wars. Some of us here may have participated in supporting the recovery process. Newsweek is I call it a secular magazine. It is not a Christian magazine, by all means. So when they told the story, they were not thinking of God and Christ. And it's it's a feature of that particular month, last month, August 12th to 19th. So the story goes on and on and on and tells very gory details of what happened to Mary and the state of desperation, the state of helplessness after the war, when these girls submitted and said, we are not going to be soldiers anymore. Dejection by the society because they don't fit in the society. And this is the reality, again, of the context that we work in. But I found something interesting, tucked up somewhere in that whole story. When Shak, a soft-spoken Liberian social worker with the evangelical humanitarian group Samaritan's Purse, anyone who knows that? Just months after the ceasefire, Mary told her, move from here that, I can't say that what? The whole day you're passing around and lying to people. But after a while, Shak managed to persuade Mary and 8 other girls to live for 9 months at a Christian mission where they received counseling as well as courses in pastry making and tie-dyeing. The stay at the mission helped Mary kick a habit of smoking marijuana, and these days she doesn't hustle for money. I've moved my life forward, she says. Shak believes it's an upward trajectory that will continue if Mary can just leave West Point. She has faith in the young woman and has nicknamed her Bright Future. Mary's life was turned around by someone who was doing what they needed to do, but in the right context. I pray that this is a reality of our life going forward, as we think, as we pray, as we love, as we encourage, as we forgive each other, that we will find it in ourselves. And by allowing ourselves to go through this journey, many Marys will be found. Many Marys are waiting to be helped in Africa, in East Africa. Many. We're a target of 17 plus million. There are many. We cannot afford to look down on ourselves. We cannot afford to feel comfortable when we are stopping the children from coming to Christ simply because we enjoy certain privileges. If anything, we should be challenged. A lady by the name Miriam, whose quotes are attributed to Nelson Mandela in his inaugural speech says this. Mind you, she's not a Christian. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. You've heard that quote, I'm sure. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful and beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. Nothing. To the audience of one, as I wrap up, if the president was to walk in right now as I present, with his entourage, like my entourage is here with me today, this speech would change. It would change. Because my audience would be the president. My audience would be almost everyone else would zoom out, and I would only have one person in my mind that I'm thinking about, the president. Now that is you and I as Christians. We get caught up in the noise sometimes. We get caught up in all the activities. We get busy in trying to achieve our objectives. But let us not forget, when all is said and done, this is to the audience of. This title was inspired by a song, Now I Confess, by a band called Big Daddy Weave that supports World Vision. It's a pretty big band in the US. It supports World Vision's work. And they have a song by the same title. But the title is To My Audience of One. So I made it To the Audience of One. And this is the verse that caught my eye or went to my mind when I thought about the sermon of To the Audience of One. God with us. He's seated right here. To make it easier, if the president was here with us, let the children come. He's urging me that. Let me not forget that whatever I do, it's all about whether he thinks it is right or wrong, whether he thinks and believes that I'm doing the right thing. The band says in the song, and Lord, as the love song of my life is played, I have one desire, to bring glory to your name. To my audience of one, you are Father, you are Son. As your spirit flows free, let it find within me a heart that beats praise to you. And now just to know you more has become my great reward. To see your kingdom come and your will be done. I only desire to be yours. Thank you.